Today we start plumbing, and we are trying to do this in as few trips to the hardware store as possible. We have done a lot of prep work leading up to today. We have sealed, cleaned, and prepped our water tanks, protected our garage walls with polyurethane, added support for our plumbing system, installed both water tanks, and wired our 120 volt AC system for our hot water heater.
Oh, there we go.
For two people who have never plumbed before, how many trips to the hardware store and how many leaks will we have? Let us know in the comments below.
We have all of our tools in the back, but now we need to write down how many fittings and clamps we think we need. Alright, so here's our electrical wall. We kind of have it all sort of planned out. Our water filter, which isn't here right now, is going to go there eventually. The first step is going to be to screw the pump and the accumulator into the wall, so that way we can put these wires in and start building the tubing around it. Alright, so we are basically gonna just do one piece at a time, so that way I can kind of like accurately arrange everything, because if I put something a ½ inch over or an inch over or something, and then maybe it'll need another fitting. So I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible and just do it one piece at a time. Starting with connecting our two water tanks. These are our two 33-gallon water tanks from Northwest Conversions, and we're gonna connect them down here. Boom, all the way across to boom. We're using PEX A for everything. So I have my expansion tool, I have my fittings, and I have my pipes. So let's start doing it. Alright, off to a good start. I do not have a wrench to tighten these MPT connectors. I brought so many tools, and for some reason I did not bring a wrench set. So time to go back home. I didn't buy everything in that first go to Lowe's, so I'm gonna go in and probably buy a couple more things, and then we'll work at home. Ay, ay, ay.
Round two. Back to Lowe's.
Alright, got a couple more things. Now let's head home so I can get my wrench and keep building out the plumbing system. Woo-hoo! We are using PEX A, which is basically kind of a neat system. So there's this little expansion tool, and I have to expansion it 7 times, and then I put it on, and then it basically compresses to a watertight seal. Very lightweight and easy to work with, hopefully. So let's do it.
How exciting!
It's kind of already there.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna redo that one. It was, I don't think I had enough room, it was too short. So I think when it was expanding, it was actually going into the other side. So there's probably some minimum distance. But yeah, back to it. Learning. All right, I just did my first plumbing connection ever, I think. I've decided to do only like minimum like 2-inch pieces, because that's kind of what it seems like, you know, a good length for the expansion tool is. And so now I'm just gonna kind of piecemeal it up and connect the two tanks together. And that's it, it's there. Already tight. And supposedly watertight, but we will check that. And then these fittings, basically they're just plastic rings. There's one way they go on, and they have like a stopper on them. It's pretty simple. I really hope our plumbing has no leaks. Just like that, it's on there. All right, now our tanks are connected. Now for the connection to our water pump, we're gonna run from here to there. So we need a couple elbows. And the big thing for this one is I need to make sure our inline filter is there. That's required for these SureFlow pumps. So the exact same system that we had on the boat, which is kind of interesting, just seeing it again and ordering it again. We bought a silencing kit which included flexible hosing, but it's just a little too tight of a space to use those hoses. So I think it's gonna be fine. We can always make adjustments later if we really need to. That's kind of the nice thing about installing the water tank system where it is. Very accessible, be able to keep an eye on leaks because we do not want leaks, we do not want water damage at all. And so I'm trying to do this with as minimal connections as possible, as much visibility as possible, and that's about all I can really do. Alright, we are kind of already on the first pivot. So either I'm going to have to move the pump up a little bit or put this in line elsewhere or do it from the side. Just that this filter we're going to have to take apart and do maintenance on. So if it's upside down, I don't even know if it'll work, but basically we're going to be dumping water every single time we clean it, which we don't want that. Maybe right here? Could work. Alright, progress update. Learning a couple things about working with this PEX hay that I thought I would share. Basically, I learned even though there's like a minimum, like which I'm kind of taking as 2 inches, it's good to have a little extra, like 1 coupling extra, so that way if something does go wrong, you can at least cut the coupling off and retry it, because it's kind of hard to get it off and not reusing any pieces that I cut off, because I'm just worried that like if I try to cut these off, I'll score the plastic a little bit. And then that'll be a source for water to escape. So I have a little bit of waste, which unfortunately means I'm probably gonna need to go back to Lowe's. But it's looking really good. I added ways to turn off each tank and turn off the water supply. Very important. So these can be on and off. So each tank can be isolated. I moved this filter. This is a filter for the shore flow, just preventing any sediments from going into the tank. We have our silencer hose right here. And the idea is that we're gonna have a piece of wood, kind of where this blue tape is, which is gonna be where we're mounting these hoses, so that way they don't rattle and move and, you know, have that be a source of problems later. And also protect them so they don't get kind of like banged up in our garage. And then finally I have the accumulator all hooked up now too. Basically this accumulator is just a pressurized tank, and this takes some of the load off of the pump, and so we should get more consistent water pressure from it, and the pump will cycle less often, which I'm excited to see how that works out, because we didn't have that on the boat and it's completely new. Alright, I have my first plumbing connections completed to our outdoor shower. Now we're going to be using this to kind of like wash down our boots or something after a long hike, or rinse off the bike or something before we put it in. And I have it all connected. I can't test it yet because I'm using a T-valve and the other side of the T is just wide open. So I asked Shin to pick up some plugs, so I'll test it when she gets back. In the meantime, I'm connecting our air venting hoses. So I basically ran this plastic hose underneath the van earlier in the video. As you can see, I have it poked out there. I should have a piece of bag covering it so that no bugs or anything come in. But that is the outlet of the drain. So right now I'm connecting those to both drain holes of the van. So they're kind of both going to drain out the same air hole. I think that should be fine, as long as the air has a way to escape. And so it should be nice and easy. I'm going to kind of keep it on top and then kind of attach it to our bed posts whenever we get to that part of the build to put the bed posts in. And hopefully I can do that by the time Jen gets back and we can test. Alright, Jen is almost home, so I'm going to tidy up and fill up the water tanks with a little bit of water so we can test it. Oh, and Jen's back. Guess what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Filling up the water tank.
Really? That's exciting. I have more pieces.
Yay! Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, we have our plug. Let's test it. One of the big reasons why I want to test this is because I want to just make sure I'm doing it right and I don't have like a million leaks before I do the second half of the system. Let's check it out.
Hey!
We're running water.
We are running water.
Alright, any leaks?
There's some, I presume it's just from this, but so far I don't see any.
So now that we've tested the system and it works, and I'm kind of doing it right, so there's not a lot of leaks. So that's what I wanted to check. We're going to be basically connecting up our shower So you're running all of the pipes across the van to the shower, running the 2 pipes to the sink, and then connecting at the hot water heater. And basically we don't have the sink or the shower ready to like finish that install, but we can still wire it up, and then when we do our kitchen countertop and sink in the next video, we'll be able to test it all out. It looks like I'm gonna need to go to Lowe's again. I need some more fittings. Hopefully this is the last trip. The focus of this one is the water inlet hose and the hoses for the hot water heater and connecting that. And Jen is hard at work
I'm doing
as well.
I'm doing finishing work.
Wow, look at that. Look at that black entry foyer. And look at you.
Entry foyer.
Are you like countersinking the screws?
I'm countersinking.
Damn.
I have a beautiful black trim that's gonna go wrap this edge. Yeah, it's looking nice.
Good work. That looks nice and slick. Yeah. It's coming together, folks. Bit by bit. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, we have our line that we just bought from Lowe's. Yep. Looks great. And I'm gonna turn back around and go right back to Lowe's. So you get one more for the other line. As soon as I got home and like put it next to the like line that we have, which is this hose, it was like, why didn't I just buy a second hose for $7? That way it'd look nice and look the same. And then the thing about the fittings is this fitting is plastic, so I'd have to go plastic to metal instead of just keeping it metal to metal. So it would be an extra step too. So back to Lowe's. I hope that's the last trip. Now, I just need to open up our kitchen cabinets a little bit for the hoses to come in, and then I can finish preparing the sink. It won't be able to turn on because we don't have our sink installed yet, obviously. But yeah, 3 hoses, hot, cold, and then the pressure relief valve for our hot water heater is also going down there. We've been burning the midnight oil, staying up late, working into the late evening. I think one day I clocked in like 12:30 a.m. finishing working some of the wiring. But it is coming along. We are just so excited to get on the road. And so I'm gonna work on basically the next project, which is gonna be our kitchen. I need to make a template for the sink. So we're trying to finish the van build by the first week of December. So we have effectively 2 weeks to do all that's left. So there's a couple things left for this video. Let me show you. You can see we have our wall installed. I don't have it all battened down yet, but that is there, kind of protecting the wires. The idea is that this is gonna hopefully protect rattling. Yeah, make our system I'm not worried about like putting things in the garage and then bumping the things. What I'm working on right now, finishing up, is routing the shower lines. So we kind of have both lines going to the shower. I need to bisect the cold water line with another valve so I can isolate that part of it. And then Bob's your uncle. We just pre-charged our accumulator to what I hope is the proper setting. And so now we're gonna turn on the pump and let's see how much rattling we have, how much noise we have. Because I'd like to fix those kind of noises and rattles now before like we do more work and then it makes it harder to do things. So Jennifer, will you watch for leaks?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn it on. 2, 1. Let out air maybe?
Sure.
Oh wait, it stopped.
Hey, nice.
Oh,
That's good.
cool. Yeah.
That means it came to pressure.
The pump just stopped for the first time, so that's good news. We're gonna spray the hot nozzle. And
Yeah. This is our shower on valve, so it is in the on position.
I think our cheap bidet on Amazon, aka our outdoor shower, is a little leaky, but we have the valve that's normally gonna be turned off. Ready?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Hey!
This is where Ollie's gonna get her baths.
Nice, but we can turn it off here. So then we'll release the pressure.
Yep. Drain it out, and we have no leaks.
Yay!
Yay!
No leaks.
Yep, buddy.
Good job.
Mission accomplished. First time ever plumbing. And with that, the first round of plumbing, which it's not like fully done. I don't have the sink done, I don't have the shower in, don't have the inlet hose connected, missing some pieces for that. But that is a wrap. It was a lot more trips to Lowe's than I thought. I thought we were just gonna knock it out in 6 hours. Yeah, what a start.
Now to christen the system, it is time for our supervisor to get a BATH, which she is going to despise.
2, 1.
Oh, she hates it. It's like, what did you do? What happened? I thought we had a deal.
I know. Terrible, terrible parents. Oh god. Oh my god. She said moms. Wasn't so bad, was it, Ollie? Oh! Thank you for watching this episode of Day in the Life for Ollie. We'll see you guys next week as we do our kitchen
Countertop.